I quit manure. This full soil trick grows 100 times better harvests. Why full soil prep is the secret to next year's harvest. Welcome back to Gentle Herb Living. Let's be honest, most gardeners hear fertility and immediately think manure. It's been the gold standard for centuries, a trusted way to enrich the soil and boost yields. But here's the truth. Manure isn't always the miracle we've been led to believe. In fact, relying on it year after year can lead to nutrient imbalances, weed seeds, and even soil health issues that quietly sabotage your harvest. That's why this fall, I stopped depending on manure and switched to a soil building trick that outperformed it in both vigor and productivity. If you want your garden to explode with healthy growth come spring and summer, this method deserves your full attention. Why manure alone falls short in modern gardens. Manure adds organic matter and nutrients, yes, but it's not always balanced. Fresh manure, unless carefully aged, can burn roots with too much nitrogen and introduce pathogens that no gardener wants near edible crops. Even well-aged manure is often heavy on certain nutrients like phosphorus, but light on others, leaving gaps in fertility. Over time, those imbalances show up in weak growth, yellowing leaves, or reduced fruiting. For gardeners pushing for healthier, more productive soil, manure alone just doesn't cut it anymore. The full soil building trick that replaces manure. So what's the game-changing alternative? It's cover cropping. Instead of trucking in manure or expensive fertilizers, planting full cover crops like clover, vetch, rye, or even field peas creates a living layer of fertility that works with the soil, not against it. Cover crops act as green manure, but with added benefits that manure can never deliver. They capture leftover nutrients before they leach away in winter rains, fix nitrogen directly from the atmosphere, and feed soil microbes as they grow and decompose. When turned back into the soil in early spring, they become a slow-release nutrient source perfectly aligned with your plant's needs. So, cover crops really do transform soil structure and fertility in a way that's a bit different from, say, manure. Unlike manure, which is applied once and then left to break down, cover crops actively work the soil for months. Their roots dig deep, breaking up compacted layers, improving aeration, and drawing up minerals from the subsoil. Above ground, they protect bare soil from erosion, suppress winter weeds, and regulate moisture. When you chop and incorporate them, the organic matter builds humus, a stable form of carbon that gives soil its dark, rich texture. This not only feeds plants but also improves water retention and creates a thriving home for earthworms and beneficial microbes. Over time, this leads to a self-sustaining cycle of fertility that manure alone just cannot replicate. So why is fall the perfect time to start this practice? Well, fall offers a unique window of opportunity for soil building. Your main crops have finished, the beds are bare, and instead of leaving them exposed to winter weather, you can put them to work. Seeding cover crops now means they establish before the first frost, hold nutrients in place through the cold months, and are ready to enrich your soil by the time spring planting begins. This timing gives you a head start on next season's fertility without relying on outside inputs. By the time you're setting in your tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers, the soil will already be primed for explosive growth. How this trick outperforms manure in real harvests. The difference becomes clear when you compare plant performance side by side. Gardens enriched with nothing but manure often show strong early growth, but plateau as nutrient levels shift out of balance. Cover-cropped beds, on the other hand, build resilience from the ground up. Crops stay green longer, produce heavier yields, and resist stress better because the soil ecosystem itself is stronger. It's not just about feeding plants. It's about feeding the soil life that supports them. And when the soil thrives, your harvest follows. The big takeaway for gardeners who want lasting fertility: if you've been locked into the mindset that manure is the only path to fertility, this fall is the time to break free. Cover cropping gives you everything manure does and more: balanced nutrition, better soil structure, healthier microbial life, and long-term fertility without the risks of pathogens or imbalances. It's a system that works with nature, using living plants to create living soil. Once you see the results in your own garden, bigger harvests, healthier crops, and soil that keeps improving year after year, you'll never go back to relying on manure alone. So before winter sets in, seed those cover crops and give your garden the foundation it deserves. Skip the endless bags of manure and trust in the natural cycle that serious gardeners have rediscovered. If this guide has given you a fresh perspective on soil fertility, be sure to subscribe to Gentle Herb Living for more practical, proven methods that truly work. Share this with fellow gardeners who want better harvests without wasted effort, and drop a comment below letting us know your favorite fall soil practice. Together, let's grow smarter, healthier, and more abundant gardens season after season.